Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video, we'll be chatting about the best tips to go into your first ouji or lolita meet. I'd like to start off that since ouji is a less popular fashion than lolita fashion, your best bet is attending lolita meets. Since ouji is the boys' style complementary style to lolita meets are often very welcoming for any ouji enthusiasts joining their meets. In order to attend your first ouji meet, you'll basically be looking for your local lolita community. So part 1 is finding the community. So your first part is finding the community, and honestly, this is going to be a bit tricky. Often communities will name their lolita Facebook groups something a bit more cryptic to avoid unwanted guests lurking in their Facebook groups. If you're looking up your state or country lolita fashion or community isn't working in the search, try variants of your location, e.g. maybe your state acronym, or maybe other adjacent lolita terms such as EGL. Now, without giving away any groups in particular, I've also known some groups to make lolita puns on the group name, or lolita references, such as Frills and Ruffles, J-Fashion or something, which additionally might make the group a bit more difficult to find. My other tip would also be checking across different platforms, because I've also known that lolita groups don't tend to just be on Facebook, but also Discord. If you have no luck finding it, your best bet is perhaps seeing if you can find your overall country lolita group and asking if anyone in that Facebook group knows if there's any more specific groups to your location. I've also found that attending your local anime, gaming, or cosplay convention is a good way for meeting other lolitas in fashion, and basically asking them if there are any known meetup groups. Keep an eye out for any lolita or ouji con panels. For anyone who is an ouji, since it's a lot rarer to see someone in ouji, you'll have a better chance of spotting someone in lolita with the signature bell-shaped skirt look and asking them if there's a local community. The power of asking people is a pretty good option for finding your hidden community. Personally, I know that my local community is purposely named a bit more difficult, and I've often found lolitas at conventions and let them know about the local community, as often, a lot of it's sometimes done by invitation. Funny side story, but I did end up having to dig through live journal threads to find mine. So digging through threads like Reddit could be another option in trying to find your community. I'm happy to say I've assisted in quite a few international beginner lolitas in linking up them to their community they didn't even know existed. So if you're a lolita in a community and see a wild lolita you don't recognize, it doesn't hurt to spread the joy and invite them. The more the merrier. Once you've found your community, it's time to attend your first meet. You're going to see a bit of repetition in this video to my hosting your first lolita or ouji meet, but essentially there are often different types of meets, more casual ones and more formal ones. Formal events often include your prepaid booked high tea, while casual events can include picnics, city meetups, house meetups, etc. If you've just gotten into the fashion and don't have a full coordinate, I don't recommend going to a high tea event as your first event. While there is nothing inherently wrong with going to a high tea event in itself, I often find it's these events where everyone is wearing their A-game coordinates for photos. Given the events are often quite pricey, and some party hosts might not appreciate if you rock up in normie clothes because your coordinate wasn't really quite put together in time. On the other hand, casual meets are a lot more chill. Sometimes you might find a host making a new member welcoming meet where you don't even need to wear the fashion if you're just curious, especially if it's something you would like to meet the community before jumping into it. If you're new to the community and don't know anyone, it's often in good taste to message the host your intent to come. After all, the meets are often up to the host, and while one host might not have a problem with a certain thing, another host would. For example, some events might be 18 plus exclusive, so if you are a minor, checking this would be important. Making an introduction post in the group is often a good way of letting people get an idea of who you are, whether you start the fashion, your style preference, and in general, it's just a good way to make yourself known. Safety. Since it is meeting a bunch of strangers at the end of the day, it would be wise to also select a meet that is safer. To give an example, when I first joined the community, the first meet coming up was a Halloween night party. Since I didn't feel comfortable going to someone's house late at night, I opted for the next meet, which was a swap meet during the day. Tell someone responsible where you're going and when you'll be coming back. You can bring a friend along, and for minors, an adult to accompany you. For first meets, events in public spaces such as parks will often be safer than someone's house. Planning your coordinate. I have a few coordinates from my early days that don't look the best because I kind of planned it on the day. It's always good to make a good first impression and to plan your coordinate with a flat lay, which is putting all the pieces you plan to wear on the floor next to each other, or take a photo of what you plan to wear with a mirror or something so you'll have it ready for the day to make sure everything fits nicely. And this is both measurements-wise and aesthetically. And finally, interacting with the community, such as other Lolita or ouji enthusiasts. It can be quite nerve-wracking having your first meetup, so I've popped a few conversation starters to help you get started. Asking a Lolita or ouji about what they are wearing and where they got it from. Asking a Lolita or ouji about what they currently have in the mail. And asking a Lolita or ouji about their dream item. Don't forget to get some photos of your first meetup. You're making your first memories going into the hobby, so it's an easy one to miss. But you're going to be able to see how far you grow in the hobby as your style evolves, so having this is a really important thing. As a super additional trick, try plan a few poses to pose for your camera in your coordinates. As another trick, I often will ask if anyone wants photos, and after taking photos of another person, it's a nice way of asking if they'd be able to take one of you as well. I hope this helps in attending your first ouji or Lolita meet, and if all else fails, I've also had the luck of attending an online Lolita meet with the wider international community, so it's not the end of the world if you cannot attend an in-person meet. You've got this, and I hope these tips and tricks help you out in your first ouji or Lolita meet. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and bye for now.